welcome back again to Questions with the Prophet. Welcome again, man of God.
Thank you.
Based on the previous questions that we've asked, we have gotten a lot of feedbacks, and we have another question for you. And this question has to do with forgiveness. Why should I forgive? I mean, when somebody hurts me, why should I forgive based on what the Bible is saying? Can you provide us with a little more detail on what that entails?
Okay. Thank you for having me again. The basis of forgiveness, it is have always been from sin and how God has taught the human being to relate to each other, right? So, and Jesus, through all Jesus' teachings, he has clearly told the prophets, the apostles, the evangelists, the pastors, the teachers, and he gave them strict instruction. He said, go throughout all the world, preaching repentance and the remissions of sin is a must. He did not say you can do it if you get an offering. He did not say do it if you feel like. He did not say do it when it is necessary. He said it is a must. Now, what is repentance? And what is the remissions of sin? So remember back in the days, in the Old Testament, they used to have to kill bulls, rams, goats, pigeons, all these things they used to do to roll back people's sins, and it only could have rolled back to a year. So Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came into this world, and he is the ultimate sacrifice that could have banished all the sins of this world in order for you and I should, to stand here talking, because we should have been dead based upon the sin that has been committed. We should have been forgotten, rotten, all that stuff. So by what Jesus has done, right, he set an example. And if you notice throughout the gospel, everything that Jesus has done, it is an example of what you should do. Let me give you an example. The washing of feet, right? So when he was washing his feet, and he put the towel around him, and when he reached up to Peter and he was going to wash Peter's feet, Peter said, wash not my feet. And he said, if I do not this, you have no part with me. So it is telling you about examples. You should set good examples. I should set good examples for people to follow. So what if you don't set good examples? So if Jesus, it reaches to the point where Jesus was, when they took him to the cross and they nailed him to the cross, they were doing all these things. They whoop him, they do all these things to him. And he said, Lord, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they have done. Because think about it. At the time, nobody knew what they were doing, because they were just doing it because of the heat of the moment. They were just killing him because the Jews didn't like him. The Jews thought he was just exposing them. So basically, they said, get rid of this man, because we had life the way we have it, and the teaching was of Moses, and we're going to just keep it. They are ascribing the law to their own purpose. So God sent his son, his only begotten son, to come and change the whole narrative. And they said that he was teaching a different doctrine. Now, forgiveness. When Jesus forgiven them, we should forgive them. Did you know unforgiveness is a spiritual burden? And it can cause diseases. It can cause you to have mental block. It can cause mental diseases. It can cause all sorts of problems because it is a spiritual load. Did you know spiritual loads are even heavier than physical load? When you pray for someone, and when you pray for someone, even if you're spiritually strong enough, most of the time you get spiritually tired. You get tired because it is a spiritual warfare that is unseen to the eye, the naked eye. So forgiveness, and we should forgive a person 70 times 7 a day. Which man prays 70 times a day? I don't think no one on this earth pray that much. But we should, every time we open our mouth to pray for someone, we should forgive our brother and our sister. Now, if we don't forgive, we we actually allow ourselves to be added a lot more sins upon ourselves, wherein that it can cause a lot more issues or problem where it had two different things where you don't want. So take for instance like some preachers, and because a person is preaching, they think that they don't have sin. Did you know you if you look, you think, and you perceive things upon another, it can actually lead to sin. So basically, it is a continuous thing that you must always do, you know. So, and we should forgive ourselves, and we can use forgiveness as a way to pray. That we must acknowledge is first of all you have to acknowledge what was done, and don't be afraid to acknowledge things that has been done to you. Acknowledge that you must be sorry for your sin, and it is a burden. It has been lifted spiritually, and that will help you to grow spiritually in God, and you will get more wiser. One of the greatest things is to actually to know these things is to fear God. When you fear God, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you do not fear God, you cannot have wisdom. You do not go to college to get wisdom. You get wisdom when you go to college. You go to college to get wisdom for this earth, for earthly things, things that man put together. But I'm saying that if you want to get knowledge from this earth, heavenly things, and all things, how to live, how to walk, you have to fear God. So when you follow the commandments of God, I'm not talking about the 666 commandments of Moses. I'm talking about when God said, go and pray for your brother. Go and tell others about me. That is the commandment I'm talking about. Follow his commandment. You will gain understanding. So with wisdom, you get understanding. So if God showed you something, you will understand what it meant, and you can expand upon it and teach your brother, your sister, and others.
Well, thank you so much, man of God. Now we have it. Forgiveness is the beginning. We're going to ask you kindly just to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.